What are the income skills that give you the highest return of investment? And what things are the 1% of coaches in this world focusing on to actually scale their business? I recently was surrounded with multi-millionaires, the top 1% coaches in this world, people who are well on their way to becoming a billionaire. And I want to show you the skill sets to focus on to really grow your business. You might be wondering, is this still all relevant with the introduction of AI? And I will give you my opinion as we go through. I just directly want to dive in with you guys to give you value on what to focus on, because a lot of people actually ignore these skill sets and are just too focused on posting content and hoping something sticks. The first skill set to really focus on, and this is what I learned from all the multimillionaires which I was surrounding myself with in Canada, is to test your messaging. And I don't mean test your messaging as in post a little bit on social media. What I've seen here, what I've learned, what I'm implementing in my own business is to really continuously test all of the different messages, your ads, your organic, your YouTube, and to really rely on the data that is provided by your target audience. Because a lot of people brainstorm or maybe hire brand strategists to come up with the right type of messaging, but the only true source of value that will give you input in terms of if your messaging is resonating with your audience, it's the market itself. So continuous testing of your messaging, continuous iteration of your messaging, and seeing, analyzing, studying what actually works, which hook you're using, what angle, what topic, what setting, what is actually getting more views, which is actually getting more engagement, which call to actions are actually driving the conversion, and to really double down on the things that are working well. So how do you actually apply this, right? So the easiest thing is just to go to your Instagram page, click on your reels, and just to see which of your videos has gotten the most engagement, the most amount of reach. And those are the videos that are most likely most relevant to your audience. This is a very easy and simple way to start testing your messages and to start doubling down on that specific topic. And then I really want you to study that particular reel, right? What were you saying? What were the keywords that you were using in the first 3 to 5 seconds that made your audience want to consume more of the content? Same goes for your ads, right? A lot of people have the mindset that if you run one ad, like money should start pouring in. This is also why, because of that mindset, a lot of people drop off after testing 1 or 2 ads and draw the conclusion that ads don't work for them. The people that I was surrounding myself with, they tested over thousands of different ads, right? In the time span maybe of a year or 2 years, maybe sometimes 70 different ads at the same time. So this is a completely different mindset from just testing 1 or 2 ads at the same time to really master the skill set of running proper ads with different angles, different creatives, different hooks, different messages, different pain points. So messaging testing is key in every single element, and this is an ongoing game as the market shifts as well. It's important to keep testing. Another great tip here that I can share with you that I'm applying for my business and that I'm helping my clients with is to really listen carefully also to what is being said during your sales calls. If you don't have it yet, I highly recommend you install Fathom to record all of your sales calls and then chuck the transcript in ChatGPT to filter out the pains and the desires in their own words, specifically in their own words, because this is what is going on in the minds of your prospects, right? And this is how you want to communicate with them as well. So I take whatever comes out of my sales conversations, I deeply analyze it with ChatGPT, and I use those exact words again in my messaging, in my reels, in my ads, and test and see what really sticks and lands and use the data. Messaging testing, one of the high income skills that will definitely help you to further improve your content and draw in your audience and convert your audience. So what's the second thing? The second thing is conversion conversations. Conversion conversations, meaning you understand it's basically sales, right? Every conversation you're having is sales. And the beautiful saying goes, right? Make a friend, not a sale. How do you build relationships in the DMs with people? How do you run your sales calls? How do you sell to people without being pushy or salesy? And this is such a skill set to master. And one of the fundamental things that we're helping our clients with, and I've invested a lot of time and money in myself to actually understand how this works, because this is a skill set that will serve you a lifetime. This is definitely one of the most important high income skills, is learning how to build relationships, how to generate trust with your prospects, and how to eventually convert them into your offer, your solution. Most likely, if you're watching this, right, you're a coach, you're helping people with a transformation, and people need to trust you. They're buying from you as a person, and they're buying the transformation that you can deliver. So trust needs to be established. So understanding how to build this trust in the DMs, having the framework, not a script, right? The scripts you can basically throw in the trash because you don't want to sound like a robot, and you really want to build that personal deep connection so people actually trust you. Learning how to build that emotional connection with people, learning how to listen to them, create understanding, and at the same time position yourself as the guide to guide them through the journey that they want to go towards the desired state. Such an important skill set, right? And if you're wondering, like, will AI take over here, because a lot of developments are created right with the AI, I think specifically it's the human touch. AI cannot create that human connection about your story, right? Your background, your origin story, how to resonate, the challenges you had to go through. That's a unique selling point that AI cannot touch. I definitely think that it will massively change the way we communicate, but the authenticity of your story, your human element, this will become more and more important on how to separate yourself. Same for me. There's a lot of different business coaches in this world, but no one has walked the same path as I had. No one has done 10 years of being a marketing specialist for the S&P 500. No one has been burned and burned out by the organic grind, by just posting every single day, right? No one had to let their entire team go, restart it from scratch, rebuild from scratch, had to sell their house to sustain their business, right? That's all my story, my journey, and that is my unique selling point, my blue ocean. And incorporating that in conversations with people, sharing that story, that emotional connection, understanding the path that people are on, that's so powerful and will help you a lot to generate a connection with people and to basically book in more calls, create more sales of people who resonate with you and not necessarily with an AI or with your scripted templates. Number 3, offer creation and iteration. Alex Hormozi wrote an entire book about this, $100 million offers, right? So finding the right audience with the right pain is one. The second is to create a really good, compelling offer. What I often see is that people create one offer and hold on to it for dear life, to just stick with that one offer. But actually testing different offers, right? Creating creative, seeing what works, increasing your prices, increasing your payment model, increasing monthly recurring or implementing monthly recurring revenue or monthly payments, weekly payments, guarantees, right? Testing this on sales calls, and again, listening very closely to what your prospects and potential clients need is important to keep improving your offer and how you position this. This can often be small little tweaks that makes it easier for your prospect to purchase, or that it resonates more with your prospect. So I want you to step away from the mindset that your offer needs to be created once and then you're done. but really to step into the mindset, how can I get creative and how can I keep crafting something and testing something during the sales conversations that you're having, to create something that really sticks, really resonates, to lower the risk for your prospects, to improve the perceived value and improve the likeliness that they're actually gonna achieve this with the minimum amount of effort they need to put in. So get creative and keep iterating until you have found something that sticks, and then probably still want to keep iterating or think about an upsell or a downsell. By the way, guys, if you are struggling, like if you don't have too many sales calls yet in your calendar booked in, feel free to book in a call with me down below. This is how we help our clients. This is the system that we've created to just fill your agenda with sales calls. So if you currently don't have a bunch of these sales calls, there's a link down below. Book in a call with me if you're actually serious about scaling your business. I don't work with beginners, so if you have experience, if you sold before, if you have 3 testimonials, if you're serious, book in a call down below. I'm happy to have a look at how we can fill your calendar with sales calls, so you can get that feedback as well and can keep scaling. But let's move on to number 4, community building. Also, this one, in my opinion, will become incredibly valuable because we've seen that we've moved away from the conventional education system, the one-size-fits-all, already to much more niched online education system, specific courses on specific skill sets, which is still massively growing and will keep growing. I don't think I can even pronounce the total value. Total value online education. I think it's over some gazillion dollars, the amount of money going on in the online education industry. And it will keep growing. And I believe there will be much more niche sub-segments. 203 billion in 2025. I think I read somewhere that was expected to grow to somewhere in the high numbers of the billions. So it's a massive market that will keep growing. And I believe there will be more niche sub-segments, and community will become more important, specifically with the introduction of AI, and AI taking over a lot of the repetitive tasks that humanity is doing, which will be very interesting developments. But that community of like-minded people with the same type of challenges and the same type of struggles and the same emotional connection that AI cannot replicate will be very important. So for your own offer, think about like how can you create this community. It can be as simple as a WhatsApp group, a group coaching call, but even more importantly, the in-person events will become more and more important to create that not only AI or bot or automation connection with your computer or with your phone, but to really have that human connection. I really believe that in-person events, in-person communities will become very, very valuable. So right, this is already like 4 out of the 5 high income skill sets: messaging, testing, conversion, conversations, the offer creation, community building, and last, the team and system building. The one takeaway that I had from the event was like you cannot scale your business to millions of dollars just by yourself. You need to learn and understand leadership and how to delegate and how to hire the right talent, and also how to let go of the controlling factor. A beautiful quote that I heard was 80% done by someone else is 100% fucking awesome. And I don't know about you, but often as an entrepreneur, I want everything to be according to my vision and everything to be good and perfect. And letting go is something to actually learn and teach yourself. So you can trust the people that you've hired, right? The right talent that you've hired. So you can give them responsibility, the ownership to run their domain within your business. And you do this by building the teams and by building systems as well, right? Systems, delegating and automating. delegating to the right people within your team, building your team, hiring that editor, hiring that appointment setter, hiring that customer success manager, hiring that closer, and building the systems, right? Having your ads take over your lead traffic flow, having a VSL in place that can warm up your audience, having a good setting flow in place, having a proper sales framework in place, all of these things, like having a good onboarding system in place for your clients, right? Then you're creating a actual business. And a lot of people that I see, they have built more of like a business, a hobby business, let's say. So it's a lot of do it yourself, a lot of manual work without the SOPs, without the systems in place, where 9 out of 10 times, and this was me some years ago, you get yourself into a burnout because you don't have the systems, you don't have anything to scale, you don't have leverage in place. And by developing your leadership skills and by creating that team and by building these systems, right, you are creating that leverage. And the one lesson that I learned from my manager at Philips some 10 years ago, when he hired me, when I was just still junior, he hired me compared to other candidates who had 5, 10, and 15 years more experience than me. I still remember I had that interview. I walked in the hallway and the other candidate was passing me, and he was 10 or 15 years older than me. I had the job interview, and it was way out of my reach because it was a much more senior role. And for some reason, I got the role. I was very surprised, which was a massive step up for me in terms of salary as well. And later on, I asked the hiring manager, Peter, who became a good friend afterwards. I was like, man, like, I'm very grateful for the job, but like, why did you hire me and why not one of the guys which were much more experienced than I was? And he told me, you can teach knowledge, right? I can teach everything about marketing, because it was a marketing manager role for Philips at that time. He's like, I can teach the marketing, but I cannot teach drive and motivation. And that is a lesson that I incorporate with everyone that I hire within my team. It's about hiring for motivation, for drive, for the hunger, for the coachability that people are actually willing to learn. So I much more look at their why rather than at their resume. And this is how I build a team of people who are willing to go, who have their own reason to make this business further grow, to make this business further scale, to make a bigger impact, rather than people who have a good resume but don't have the drive, because this is very short lasting and will require a lot of micromanagement. So by hiring this way, like, I'm building a team of people who are eager to learn and can work independently. And this is how I manage my business. This is also the values that I'm looking for when I'm hiring new team members. So yeah, guys, just to wrap this up and to drive this home, high income skills for the top 1%. Take your lessons from this, and it's not just about just posting a little bit, and it's not just about doing a few DM conversations. This will get you so far, right? This will get you to like the 5 or 10K per month mark, most likely. But if you're really serious, like, about scaling your business, if you really want to create like an actual business where you work on your business instead of in your business, where you really become the business owner instead of like a glorified freelancer, these are the skill sets for you to learn. These are the skill sets for you to understand. And again, like, this is how we help our clients. This is how we've helped Tim, for instance, 5-6x his business. He went from like 2 to 12K per month, just a couple months time, by implementing this, by implementing the systems, by running proper laser sharp ads, right? By installing an appointment setter with the right script, by creating a good offer, by doubling his prices. So all of these things, that these are part of how we support our clients as well, because I don't believe in just post more bullshit, right? Because this will just get you to a burnout. If you want to become a business owner, you need to build the systems, and you need to understand the skills, and you need to build the leverage. So if you feel called to that, feel free to book in a call down below. If you're not yet ready there, if you're not still figuring things out, go ahead, take any of these things, implement it, come back to me later when you do feel ready. But if you've been struggling for a while, many of my clients have, right? They've just been like bashing their heads against the wall. If you do feel it's time for a change, feel free to book in a call down below. I'll see if I can help. I don't know if I can help you yet, but be happy to have a chat because I've walked the walk before. So yeah, the link is down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.